Welcome to Play-by-Play Sports. This is your host, Marlo Smith, coming to you again with another episode. On this episode, I'm going to talk about none other than the Auburn Tigers. Auburn Tigers are a squad to watch out for in this upcoming SEC season. I'm just being straight serious about this. If anybody overlooked Auburn, I think Hugh Freeze finally has the squad that can compete. Auburn has always had talent. The one position that they've been hurting at since Freeze has been there is the quarterback position. They have had absolutely nothing. And it showed last season. Auburn defense is really good, but they just struggled at the quarterback position, and that has hurt them. They have playmakers at the wide receiver position. They brought in more, but they definitely need a quarterback who can step up, and I think they really gonna have that this upcoming season. But Auburn is a squad to watch out for in this upcoming season. Man, they gonna put some boys to the test, and they got some games that are some big games that are gonna be at home. And we all know Jordan-Hare Stadium is one crazy place. My mom used to work at Auburn University. I done been on Auburn campus a million times, and I tell you what, they can definitely. That's a real. Jordan-Hare Stadium is a real home field advantage. And boy, they got Georgia coming there, and Alabama has to go there. And we all know what happened when Bama go play at Auburn, man. Some crazy things happen. We can blow them out at Bryant-Denny Stadium, but when we go travel to Jordan-Hare Stadium, man, that game is always close, and it's always a battle. But let's get into Auburn, man. You know, Hugh Freeze is on a mission this season. And it could get real scary. I'm telling you right now, it can get real scary. Coach Freeze has the roster that he needs to compete with the rest of the league. They always been in football games. They just never could close and never can be, they're never consistent on offense. Too many turnovers, too many just broken plays, line one block and the quarterback is running for his life. And those things, if you don't have line play and a quarterback play, it don't matter how much talent you have. It's just a waste of time. So I really believe Auburn has found a quarterback. But to be honest, they were never that far off. They were never that far off. And they just needed a player at certain positions on the football field. Most importantly, signal caller. But Auburn finished the season 5-7 overall last season, 2-6 in conference play. Auburn could have had a better season if it wasn't for really bad quarterback play and O-line play. As I said before, making untimely mistakes that set them up for failure in games against teams like California. We all watched that game. And they lost that game at home 21-14. And I was like, what? But Cal had some talent on that football team. But you can't come to Jordan-Hare and lose. And come out with a victory. You're a team like California. That place is, to be honest with you, I don't like seeing other teams from other conferences come in the SEC and take a victory. I can't stand that. But Auburn lost that game 24-14, losing to Arkansas 24-14 at Jordan-Hare. Choked the game away against Oklahoma, 27-21 at Jordan-Hare. Come on, man. You cannot give those games away. And those are games that Auburn could have won. The loss to the Georgia Bulldogs, 31-13 at Missouri, 21-17. The loss to Vandy at Jordan-Hare, 17-7. And at Alabama, 28-14. All come down to one simple fact. The quarterback play is terrible in big games, and they can block, and it's as simple as that. If Auburn had a quarterback, and I keep saying it, some of these games could have been different. You may not win them all, but you would have been right there. But some of them games, they would have won. But Coach Hugh Freeze had some firepower on that offensive side of the ball going into this season to challenge any team on their schedule. The Auburn Tigers brought in two quarterbacks that have very similar skill set. They both are really good quarterbacks, starting with Jackson Arnold, who was a former 5-star prospect coming out of Gaia High School and then Texas. And a lot of people forget about that. The man he didn't just forget how to play quarterback. Sometimes, if you go look to the casual football fan, they'll say, man, what is the guy talking about? That quarterback sucked. He didn't do nothing at Oklahoma. Go back and look at Oklahoma wide receiver, how many wide receivers they had out last season. I'll wait. All of their star wide receivers was sitting on the bench with injuries. The man was throwing the ball to walk-on players, backup wide receiver who weren't ready to play. Any quarterback is struggling in that. Go look at the injury report on their wide receivers. They were missing Burt. I think Nick Harris. A lot of big play receivers was on the bench. But let's get back to him, man. But I'm gonna let y'all. I'm gonna try to understand that Jackson Arnold was no slouch, and the guy can play quarterback. I think he'll do better in Hugh Freeze's system with playmakers around him and a fresh start. But during his senior year at Gaia, he passed for this is his senior year now, over 3,300 yards, 33 touchdowns. In 2 seasons at Oklahoma, Arnold passed for a little bit over 1,900 yards and 16 touchdowns. The guy can really play the game of football. And the other quarterback they had from Stanford, he's a really, really good quarterback. Talented guy. And they both will compete for that job, but I really believe Jackson Arnold should get that position because he's the more polished passer. Buddy threw a lot of interceptions at Stanford, but hey, Stanford don't have the offensive weapons that teams have in the SEC, so I give him a pass. But Auburn defense will be fine. They were put in some tough situations last season by the ineffective offense. Defensive coordinator DJ Durkin is one of the best in the business. Auburn plays fast and physical. They get after the quarterback like a bunch of crazy dogs. They know how to get after your quarterback, and they fly to the football. And I like to watch them play, man. But when they play Alabama, I want us to just straight whoop them up and down the field. But it's about Auburn, so I ain't going to put Alabama in it. But DJ Durkin has some expensive toys to play with on the defensive side of the ball, as they should be strong in 2025 with players such as this guy's a star player, defensive end Keldrick Falk, Amarius Williams, Antonio Coleman, transferred Dallas Walker, nose tackle. He's a nose tackle, Dallas Walker. Then you got Buck Rush in, Keyron Crawford. What's my man name? You got they did all the talking last year. DeMarcus Reddick did all the talking against Alabama. Speedy linebacker transfer from LSU, Xavier Atkins, who's a player to watch on this defensive unit. Auburn gonna have a lot of speed, man. A lot of speed. You got Robert Woodyard Jr., DBJ Crawford, K.N. Lee, and hard-hitting nickelback, Champ Anthony. I like that guy. I really like Champ Anthony. He went down with a leg injury last year against the Arkansas Razorbacks, where he was out there just blowing dudes up left and right in that Arkansas game. And he was just laying the wood to him. And he should be back 100%, hopefully, because they definitely can use him on the football field. But that kid can really fly around. They got some really talented guys, and Auburn should be primed for a big season on the defensive side of the ball. But if he is back at full strength, like I said, he would be a real problem this season. That's Champ Anthony. Remember the name. But the Tigers can definitely throw some punches and ruin some people's season that have championship aspirations. Do not sleep on Hugh Freeze and his boys going into this upcoming season. Jackson Arnold is a really, really good quarterback, and I think if he's coached right and he understands what he has, they should be They should be good. I mean, but watch out for Hugh Freeze and the revamped Auburn Tigers football team. And Stanford, let's not forget, I'm going to break down Stanford quarterback Ashton Daniels. He's the other talented quarterback, who had some really, really good bright spots as the guy at Stanford when he was the starting quarterback. Put up good numbers over his career, passing for a total of over 3,900 yards, 21 touchdowns. But this is the number I was telling you about. The boy threw 20 interceptions. That's mad crazy. But he will have better wide receiver talent, as I said before, going at Auburn. But Hugh Freeze has a ton of skilled guys at the wide receiver position, like he had at Ole Miss when he had A.J. Brown and D.K. Metcalf. He got Cam Coleman. Came on the scene as a freshman last season, put everybody on notice, hauling in 37 catches for 598 yards and 8 touchdowns. Those numbers could have been better if he had a true quarterback. That boy Cam Coleman is the real deal. Made a splash, but those numbers, I expect them numbers to be better with Jackson Arnold at the helm at quarterback. And I really believe he would win that position. But Auburn picked up shifted wide receiver Eric Singleton from Georgia Tech, where he put up 754 yards on 56 receptions and 3 touchdowns with a 13.5 yard average per catch. Malcolm Sims is one to watch. You got Perry Thompson and freshman Sam Turner, who was balling, been turning heads all spring. So you put him on one side of Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton in the slot, man, it's going to be crazy. And Auburn line can block. Man, it's going to be a problem. But I don't want people to forget about quarterback Deuce Knight. Now, Deuce Knight might put somebody on that bench. I don't think he'll start over Jackson Arnold, but I do believe he can make second string quarterback position. But he would probably sit unless Arnold and Daniels really screw up. Then you put him in there because he's a special talent, man. Left-hand quarterback, man, looks really good throwing the football. But those boys, and to see Deuce Knight get out there, them boys really had to screw it up. But I think he can knock Daniels out of I think he can win the second spot over Daniels. And maybe he get play and mop-up duty if Auburn get to that point. But look out for Deuce Knight, man. That kid is going to be really special. I mean, remind me of Michael Penix, man, with that beautiful left arm, man, the way he released that football. But Sam Turner going to be a monster at the wide receiver position for Auburn. He is going to be really, really good. But make sure y'all tune in to this channel, Play by Play Sports, because I'm definitely going to be going in depth with individual players on the teams, giving you breakdowns on them. And I'm going to go over the schedules and predict which games that I think these teams can win. And I definitely will be going live, and I'll give you guys updates on when that's going to happen. But follow me, like, subscribe, and share this channel. Say it again, like, subscribe, and share this channel, Play by Play Sports. I am your host, Marlo Smith. I'm on a new journey with this channel. We're going to do it bigger and better. I'm going to work hard for you guys. Subscribe, like, and share. And know that God is an awesome God. He reigns over all. I am your host, again, Marlo Smith, Play by Play Sports. I'm out. Peace.